Hey everybody, thank you so much for your post this week. I enjoyed hearing a little bit more about those of you who I do know, as well as those of you who I don't know. So I appreciate that opportunity. I'll go ahead and jump off here, getting into reflection about social justice and really trying to expand on that concept and take it a little bit further. I will say I quote unquote looked ahead, cheated a little, and listened to Zach's response video and appreciated another perspective that he provided. I think something that maybe some of us possibly overlooked. I can't speak for everyone, but I think I did. Um, in uh, in redefining how we see social justice. The overwhelming majority of us talked about kind of a core tenet of social justice is equal opportunity. However, as Zach did mention, I think a better word to define that would be an equitable opportunity for all. The equity meaning fairness. Everyone has the same opportunity, or not the same, but it's a more fair opportunity, not necessarily the same, because for some people, the same resources is not going to get to the same end result. And I think that goes back to touch a little bit more about social justice and even what the readings text talks about and defines social justice, as a process as well as a goal, but really a little bit more in line with feeling that it is a goal. Um, and a goal because while we continue every day to try to be more socially just and obtain this goal, I don't think we ever will, because there's no way that we as individuals can understand all perspectives. I think that speaks more volumes to say that our goals and efforts with social justice is better understanding how do we better gain those perspectives, how do we overcome and see that where we've been and where we've gone and where we're going is a challenging place because of all these socially constructed identities, challenges, privilege. All of that has put these blinders on, limited our perspectives, and doesn't allow us to be as objective as possible in allowing that equity to come across the board. Um, and I think that really puts us in a tough position to say, where do we go? Where do we go from here? And I think that again, where we have to focus our attention towards is challenging our perspectives. I think a lot of social justice requires a personal education, and learning that social justice is something we have to talk about. It's a conversation that may be quote unquote ugly and awkward and weird to talk about, but we have to talk about it. We only can become better if we do talk about it, and not just talk about it, but act upon it, move forward with it. And we're, again, like I said, in a tough position because we're put into a system that is inherently flawed, that we have to fight these things that we've been taught since birth of what the world is and what it's supposed to look like based on a limited perspective. And again, it brings me back full circle to kind of my thoughts and perspectives that we have to really push ourselves to see it from another perspective and focus there. Um, and and I think that's where we have to go and move forward with that. Um, I know that for me, I can speak to some of my experiences and on pushing myself to gain that new perspective with some of the groups that I had mentioned interest in working with, particularly working with those who have different physical or mental abilities. With my experience with my fraternity and the philanthropy efforts there, um, is that part of the education or part of what the knowledge that we gain about working with different groups of people, different individuals, regardless of ability, status, or not, is that we have to recognize that we're talking about people first. We can't focus on these identities having to define them. Some of those identities do define them, but again, ultimately we're talking about people first. And I think that's where social justice also gets into it, is recognizing and respecting the individual and celebrating the individual, and giving those people that access, that same fairness that anybody should be privileged to in order to get to that. So a lot of really great work, a lot of really interesting things to think about and move forward with the rest of this course and kind of here on out. Thanks for listening. I look forward to y'all's responses.